Awesome. Okay, we will go ahead and get started and open it up to some questions for Brianne ahead of tonight's game versus the Las Vegas Aces. Please raise your hand and I will call on you and we'll get things going. Anne-Marie, we'll begin with you.
Hi, Brianna. I, of course, love seeing you at ASU and working with Charlie as an assistant coach. So you spent the time as an assistant coach there, then you spent some time here out and injured. I'm wondering how one prepared you for the other and how coming back onto the court and after sitting out, how it's all kind of flowed and what you've gained.
Oh, I mean, in my 2 years of coaching, I mean, as a point guard, I feel like that prepares you for coaching, but then in my actual 2 years, it helped me see the game better and it helped me communicate basketball to others, you know, and what I see to others. And so when I got back on the court, even after seeing, you know, sitting out, watching our team, seeing what we need to improve on, it helped me communicate with our team to help them know what we can do better to improve. And, you know, being a coach, it makes you focus on the little things a lot more because you see how important they are. I mean, as a player, you see them, you know, in big moments, whatever, but those little things really do stack up. And I mean, there are no little things, but the attention to detail is what, you know, I really focus on now.
And how often do you keep in touch with Charlie in terms of talking with her?
Oh, we have our regular check-ins. You know, she's a busy lady, but she has always been there for me and she always makes time for me. And you know, whether that's a small text, you know, here and there, or we sit down and have our conversations. And every time I go back to Arizona, I go back in and check in and have a sit down with her. So yeah, we stay in touch quite often.
I'll call her right after this, actually. And then final thing, you did not play last time versus the Aces. You were injured then. What do you think needs to be done? You guys, it was a very dominating on the boards win for the Sun. What do you think needs to be a priority today in this game?
I mean, in that last game, it was our attention to detail, our activity, our effort, especially on the defensive end. You know, we were physical. We won the point of attacks. We rebounded the crap out of the ball. And that's huge. That's huge. You know, not giving them those second chance points, you know, clogging up the paint, contesting everything, showing bodies so there's crowds, getting back, not allowing them to get in their transition offense because they feed off of that stuff. And we did that really well last game, and we have to do the same today.
Wonderful to see you, Brianne. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn?
Hi, Brianne. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. Last year, Connecticut didn't get off to a great start. A different story this season. How gratifying is it to be playing the basketball that Kurt Miller had expected last season, getting it come to fruition this year?
Well, I mean, it's great. And I think last year we really just built a foundation with this new group that we have here. And we took off where we left off from last season, and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of pieces that are exciting, you know, can score from everywhere, you know, have the length, the activity, the energy. It's really fun basketball, and we're still putting the pieces together. But you know, when we get rolling, it's good basketball, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
And we've talked about the win, and the two losses you guys have has been overtime. Have you been able to put your finger on what it is closing out those really tough games that need to be done?
Well, it's all the things that led up to the overtimes. I think the things that put us in overtime, I mean, were things in our control, and we could have ended it in regulation, you know, whether that was late game rebounding or, you know, getting down early, you know, those stopping runs quicker, you know, all of those things could have allowed us to win the game in regulation. So, I mean, we have to understand, especially with playing lots of minutes, like we need to take care of the little things and try and end these things in regulation. But when we go to those overtimes, just refocusing and, you know, going back to what worked, and we need to be better about that.
And playing with a player like Jonquel Jones, I mean, she's making a campaign for MVP. What is it like to play with a 6'6" player that can play like that?
It's incredible. Playing against her, you see moments and you're like, wow, she's pretty good, but seeing her on the daily basis, it is really amazing. I mean, her skill set is amazing, and she should rightfully so be up for MVP because I mean, she does it on both ends, and she impacts the floor so much. She spreads the floor. She's so versatile. I mean, it makes a point guard's job a lot easier because you throw it up at the rim or you hit the pop, it's a bucket. It's a lot of fun playing with jump ball.
Thank you, Breon.
Rafiq?
Yeah, to talk a little bit more about the 2 overtime losses, like what do you think is worse between losing an overtime game to a championship team from last year and losing an overtime game to a team that had no wins going into the loss last Sunday?
I mean, losing is losing, and nobody here likes losing. So I think both of them equally, hit our team the same. But I think that's a little disrespectful to Minnesota because if you watch their games, they had a very tough beginning of the season. They were up 19 against Seattle. They were in games, so their record really didn't reflect how good their team is. But yeah, I mean, a loss is a loss, and we learned the same from both of them. We're taking away what we need to improve upon, and we're going to get better. That's what we have to do. I mean, I don't think either one is better than the other or worse than the other. A loss is a loss, and we have to grow from each of them.
Brendan?
Hi, Breon. At this stage now, you're a quarter of the way through the season, which is weird to kind of think and process, but where are you at? I know you missed a couple of games, of course, due to the injury like we've spoke about, but where do you feel your group is at now? Because you don't really have time, I guess, for a feeling out process with a quarter of the year already done, but where do you feel as a group chemistry-wise now that you've got all of the pieces that you think you'll have for the year intact?
Yeah, I mean, we're not feeling it out, but I think we're sharpening up, if that makes sense. Yeah, people have been out at auditions, and I think we have felt each other out. Now it's time to sharpen it up, continue to be better about putting people in positions to be successful, and finding our flow. It's going to be nice because we have, I think, a third of our away games done already. So we look forward to playing at home, and finishing the season strong.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. You're all set.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll begin to open it up to questions for Stephanie Jones. Carolyn? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Stephanie, your sister just about better than anybody. Can you talk about the improvement and really her breakout season last year and how she's continued at that this year?
Oh, hang on. I think you're also muted. There we go. Sorry, I didn't know Breon muted it.
Okay. I think that after last year, her getting more minutes, she got more confident in herself and just getting more of the flow of the game. So I think that transferred to this year, and just like she's staying with that confidence and playing really well.
How nice is it to play? Did you ever dream of playing professionally, number one, with your sister?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was always a dream of mine when I was younger to play professionally in the league. So yeah, I mean, and then to now play with Bree, like that's really even better. Like that's better than my dream. So yeah, like just having this opportunity is really great.
What kind of advice has she given you?
Really to just take everything in and like just be calm. Like don't overthink anything. Just play your game, really.
What were your all's battles like growing up?
They were really fierce. I would say that, especially in the backyard. There may be a few tears coming from one of us, but it was always a battle. It was always a battle.
and each of you have your strengths. What is it that you are better than she is, and what is it than you? And then what is it that she's better than you?
Mhm. Yeah, well, growing up, like we played two different positions, so that was different. So I was more of a guard, so I had more guard skills. And then she knows how to use her body really well, getting position and doing all that.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Charlotte?
Hey, Steph. Now that you guys are 8 games into the season, what have you really learned, not just only in training camp, but being able to watch these games and play in some and just get a feel for day-to-day of WNBA life?
Yeah, just being able to sit and like listen to JJ, Alyssa, DB, and all them talk about the game, like it's like, I mean, it's really great for me to have the opportunity, like just to kind of break down their like how they think about the game, and yeah, like listening to them talk and work things out in the timeouts, like it's a really eye opener, and like they see things that I don't see, and so like I'm just learning from that.
What's if you have an example that comes to mind of just when you were kind of like, wow, watching JJ or Alyssa talk to each other in that timeout, maybe?
Yeah, I don't have like a specific example, but it's really cool to like hear them talk, and then like they transfer it right to the court. So like that's a really cool thing to see. Yeah, like Alyssa will see something and JJ will be like, okay, and like she'll go out there and do it. So like that's really cool.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Aristides, again, I'm sorry on the pronunciation as always.
Great pronunciation. Yes, Aristides. Call me Ice. It's better. Hello. You are in the first place in your conference, 6 wins. I want to tell us. How do you evaluate the results? And did these results give you extra motive for the next games?
Yeah, we just take it one game at a time. I mean, we like where we are right now, and we just want to keep that, keep it rolling like this. So yeah, but we know everybody's gonna improve, and so we got to improve too. And yeah, like just keep going out there and getting the win. Like, yeah, just taking it one game at a time.
Thank you.
Anne-Marie?
Hi there. Nice to meet you. 5 of your 8 first games have been on the road. And I'm just wondering for you, what you are doing to take care of yourself, and what have you learned from the veteran players about how to manage that kind of travel? Because it can be pretty intense.
Yeah, I think definitely with our one West Coast trip where we had 3 games on the road back to back to back, that was kind of tough. But I know that we do a great job of being able to recover, like in practice. We do a lot of stretching and recovery, just like flushing everything out of our legs. And yeah, I think that especially with the vets and the other players, like they really do a good job of really icing down and relaxing.
Is there anything else that you do in terms of, I don't know, meditation, anything that we can talk about? And it doesn't have to be. I'm just wondering, Stephanie, if there's something you do to take care of yourself.
Not really. I do enjoy doing yoga, so it's kind of like a mix of both, like the meditation and stretching.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Rafiq, you'll be the last question for Steph.
Yeah, this is like a 2-part question. I want to know, like, you're literally half a game ahead of the Las Vegas Aces for the 2nd seed in the East, in the WNBA in general. Like, do you think you're prepared for the competition of having to compete for the highest seed possible the rest of the way? And thoughts on the way fans have been acting in NBA games if you ever had a chance to watch the NBA playoffs?
So about the seeding, I would say, like I said before, we're taking it one game at a time. And yeah, we played the Aces before, but we know they're going to come out like with more motivation to beat us. So we just got to stay focused. And I think we're really prepared for them. And about the fans, yeah, I saw the Washington game last night. That was kind of crazy, but yeah, I mean, that's really it about that.
Okay, thank you. You're all set for today.